Hi guys, Shaz here, and for those of you who don't know me, I'm the CEO of 𝔻𝕗 We've got 1 billion downloads on the app stores. I've interviewed thousands of people, employed hundreds, and I've invested in over 100 startups. And I love mentoring people. I love helping people level up, and that's why I'm here. So let's get into it. We're going to talk about your friends and your friend circle, and we're going to talk about it from a point of view of my mistakes, some of the good things and some of the bad things. So I grew up in a town in the northeast of England, and I had a lot of friends. I mean, a lot of friends. I was a popular kind of person. I got on with loads of people. I'm a brown guy in a totally white area, so everybody who knew who I was, because even if I tried not to stand out, I would stand out. And I was constantly trying to start businesses or ask people about businesses. Like, you know, if I knew some guy was a rich guy, I'd be like, oh, can you tell me how to start a business and get rich? Because I wanted to be rich. I wanted to, you know, help my family never have to struggle with money again. And, you know, nobody would really help. And then I started a few businesses and they were going bust and that. And then I started one business, right? And it was going really well. And what would happen is my friend circle, and those guys are still my friends, so I have to be careful what I say. And, you know, they were my childhood friends as well. So what would happen is I would go and say, right guys, been doing this, it's going really well, you should start a business, I'll help you, blah, blah, blah. And they'd say, Shaz, no mate, we don't want to talk about money. We don't want to talk about businesses. These guys in their 20s now, I'm not talking about like, you know, 17, 18, I'm talking about guys like between the age of 21 all the way up to 27. And they would just say, no, we don't want to talk about that. Why are you always talking about money? Why are you always talking about businesses and doing this and doing that? We're trying to relax. And you know what? Some of these guys would smoke cannabis, and nearly everybody drank, except for me, because I don't do it for religious purposes and I don't like cannabis either, and I've never done that just because it's just not my thing. I love being in control of my life and my destiny and not having my senses dulled. So, you know, the purpose of this video is really to tell you that make sure that you don't let your friends hold you back. What I should have done is whenever I turned up to my friends and said, you know what, I've been doing this, it's going really well, you know, do you want to start a business? And they were saying, no, you know, don't want to talk about that. And I would come out of my office or home after, you know, being on my computer, doing loads of work, and I'd think, you know what, I just need a little bit of a break. And I would go to those guys and I would want to talk about the business, and they would just be saying, no, Shaz, no, don't talk to us about that. We don't want to hear it, mate. Always on about that. And you know, back in the day, being an entrepreneur or being rich wasn't cool. I know we've got Instagram and all these social media, and now guys are like, oh, I've got this car and I've got this, and everybody thinks that an entrepreneur is amazingly cool. They didn't back then when I was in my early 20s. So these guys were saying to me, you know what, we don't want to listen to what you've got to say. You know, they would drive me away. I would drive me away, because if they didn't want to hear that, I was like, I don't really want to be here, because they all, you know, well, some of them are smoking cannabis and the room's filled with smoke. I hate smoking, so I'm gonna get out of here. And everybody's like drunk and they're talking about stuff that I don't want to talk about. And you know what I should have done? Because they're my friends, I should have just kept them my friends, right? Because I'm not as extreme as like cutting everybody off kind of thing. But I should have probably made a lot more effort on trying to find more guys that wanted to do the stuff I wanted to do. Like, you know, level up, get fitter, you know, eat healthier, exercise properly. This friends group of mine, I love going to, like, you know, the countryside with them and doing like daft boys stuff, like, you know, just silly stuff that I don't want to mention on the camera. It was always like in good fun, and they were like men's. They were like tough guys, and you know, there's none of this like being soft at the minute kind of thing with them. Anyway, I know the world is changing, you know, we all have to be a bit softer, you know, maybe we don't, but there was none of that with them, like, you know, fishing and all of that stuff, camping and stuff like that. So what I should have done is found another friends group or associates that wanted to level up, because that would have made my life way easier. I did find some associates and friends, and you know, one or two of them I even treat like my little brothers who I mentor. It made my life and my business just so much easier to do. Why? Because if I was talking about, oh, did you see this in the news? This is happening. Or have you heard this? This new technology is coming out. You know, this many people here are getting laid off. Or have you seen these restaurants? They're really taking off. Or have you seen this new technology or blockchain? And they would know about it. Even though it's not what they do, they would be like, yeah, let's talk about it more. And then we bounce ideas off each other and we would expand our knowledge. And if I said to any of them, right guys, I want you to go to MMA boxing, kickboxing, do the weights, eat healthy, get up early, make sure you get your heart pumping and all of that. And they're like, yeah, Shaz. They're a bit younger than me, so they're just starting off in their journeys, so they do listen a bit more. It just made things so much easier, because I want them as friends that do the same things as me, and they want me as a friend who mentors them and helps them along the way. And I'm trying to stop them from making the mistakes that I made. So you have to pick your friends wisely. In fact, that friend circle of mine, one of the guys, he got married and he moved away to another city, and everybody hardly sees him. I see my other friends walking about, I keep in touch with them, I say hello to them. One's moved away to work away, a few are still here. I do say hello to them, we'd still stop, might have a chat. But if they were interested in being entrepreneurs like I am and doing this kind of stuff and leveling up constantly, honestly, they would have pushed me more and I would have pushed them more, and life would have been so much easier. One of them, who's moved away, he regularly messages me and says, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, what do you think of this and what do you think of that? And in fact, right, I used to think it was nagging and me telling them, do this and do that all the time. And my friend, he's probably going to watch this, I gave him a book, and it was Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? And everybody's read it. And when I gave him that was a few years ago. Yesterday, he messaged me and he was about to do some kind of deal and he was getting my opinion on it and what I thought of it. And I said, yeah, it's good, etc., etc. And he was like, Shaz, you know what put me onto all of this and that I should start saving and investing? When you gave me that book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. And you know what? When he said that, I just felt this happiness that, guess what? I was doing that constantly thinking, you know what? None of my friends is going to listen to me. I want them to have better lives. And that's not the only reason I was doing it. I wanted them to have better lives. I didn't want to grow old and realize that, I've got everything and my friends and even my family, or extended family, should I say, don't have anything. So I'm constantly giving away books, lending out books to people and trying to change their lives. I've got nephews and nieces and little cousins, and I'm constantly, right, read this book. I even do things like, read this book, I'll give you 20 quid, or $20 as you might call it. So I'm like trying to force level up them, and it doesn't always work, but on some of them it does. It might, just plant that one little seed. So the people you hang around with in your friend circle really matters. This whole conversation that we're having right now is based around this. So if you want to level up in anything you do in life, whether you're at school, college, university, you're running a business, you're helping your parents run a business, you want to start a business, you do a job, guys, and when I say guys, I mean guys and gals, if you get the right people around you and bounce ideas off them, honestly, they will encourage you. And I encourage all of you to go and find like-minded people. You don't have to dump your old friends, just find like-minded people and get them to hold you accountable and you hold them accountable and level up. Thanks for watching. Please give us a like, and for every like we'll be donating some money to charity, so do your little bit there. And if you really like the video, subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you soon.